completed.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah.
So we will see about...
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. We will see, as I said yesterday, a little more detail about the sanctuary, the tabernacle, the altar, and the burnt offerings and all that. So Exodus chapter 25, 26, 27 in detail for today. These contain God's instructions for the construction and maintenance of the altar, and few details about the courtyard, the curtains, the lampstand in the tabernacle. All this structure symbolizes the need for atonement and the importance of sacrifice in maintaining a relationship with God. On the altar of burnt offerings, the Israelites presented two types of offerings, as we heard, the burnt offerings and the peace offerings. The burnt offerings were completely consumed by fire, symbolizing total surrender to God. Peace offerings were shared between God, the priest, and the offerer, symbolizing fellowship and thanksgiving. These offerings were a means of drawing near to God, seeking His guidance and finding restoration in their relationship with Him. Coming to the small little things, the curtains, what do they serve? They serve as they create a distinct area within the tabernacle, separating the holy place from the Holy of Holies. The lampstand, which is to be kept burning in the Lord's presence all night by Aaron and his sons, symbolizes the light of God's presence that is to be maintained by the people of Israel through generations. The courtyard in the tabernacle served as a special place where the people of Israel could meet and worship God. It was surrounded by high walls, indicating that one could not casually look into it, but had to enter through a gate to fellowship with God. Of course, the courtyard was accessible to all, symbolizing the openness of the path to holiness for those who sought after God. Several significant events took place in the courtyard of the tabernacle. Few of them I will say: washing at the laver. The priests washed their hands and feet at the laver before entering the tabernacle. This symbolizes purification. The animal sacrifice. Animals were slaughtered and offered at the outer altar, with some parts eaten by the priests as part of their service to God. Historical events. Courtyard was also the scene of many historical events described in both Old and New Testament, including the teachings and the parable of Jesus. The courtyard was a place of physical and spiritual activities that connected the Israelites with their faith and their God. Also, here are some few key materials used in the tabernacle. We read so many things, few little things I'll say. Gold. Gold was, it held a prominent position, signifying purity and divinity. It was used to overlay essential furnishings. The Ark of the Covenant. It was covered in gold. It contains stone tablets of the 10 Commandments, symbolizing God's presence among the Israelites. The table for the bread of presence, adorned with gold. This table emphasized the significance of the bread as God's sustaining presence. Acacia wood. Throughout the chapters we hear acacia wood. Why was this acacia wood used? It was used because it was resilient and incorruptible. Acacia wood formed the framework of the tabernacle. The metals which were used here, we heard silver and bronze. These metals were used for various utensils in the altar of sacrifice. So these are the few little details about God's sanctuary, God's tabernacle. He gave instructions and it was built according to the way He wanted it. The conclusion is God's door is open for any person who wants Him in their heart. Exodus 27:16-19. May we seek Him and find Him and have Him in our lives. Amen. So questions for today. I hope you all are not bored talking too much. All this, what am I going to know knowing all this? It is Bible, it is good to know. What material was the altar of burnt offering to be made from? Chapter 27, verse 2. Bronze. Yeah, I did tell in the summary also. Yeah, bronze. Bronze was used to make the burnt offerings. 27:2. Chapter 27:2. Again, what was to be put at each of the four corners of the altar?
Make horns for it on its four
You shall make
corners.
Horns for it on its
On
four
four
corners. Yeah. Chapter 27, verse 8. How was the altar to be made hollow?
Make hollow with boards.
With boats.
With boards, yes, right. Chapter 27, verse 7. How was the altar to be transported?
They had to put
Poles on the two sides of the altar when it is carried.
Yeah, they put through the rings and they
Yeah, through the rings.
Yes. Chapter 27, verse 20. What was the oil for the lamp to be made from? What oil they used?
of
Beaten
beaten
olive oil.
Or pure beaten olive oil.
olives.
Olive oil is the right answer. It emphasized the quality and purity required for this purpose. Chapter 27, 21. Who was to tend the lamps outside the veil of the testimony?
Aaron.
Aaron and his sons.
And his sons. Yes, thank you. Chapter 27, verse 20. How often were the lamps to be tended?
Regularly.
One continually.
Yes, continually. Chapter 27, 21. It's all in the same. In what part of the tabernacle were the lamps to be set up?
In the tent of meeting.
Correct. The holy place, tent of meeting. What time of day were the lamps to be lit?
Evening to morning.
Evening to morning before the Lord is the right answer. Who was responsible for ensuring the lamps were lit at the correct time?
Aaron and
Aaron
his
and
sons.
his sons.
Correct.
Aaron.
Aaron and his sons. Who was responsible for ensuring the lamps were lit at the correct time?
Same.
The same
Same,
Aaron.
same.
Aaron and his sons.
Yeah, Aaron and his sons. And what does God say for how long they should carry on with this lamp lighting? What is the
For
duration?
generations.
Generations.
For
Generations
generations.
by the people of Israel. Right. The last question for the day. What is the symbolic significance of the perpetual lamp in the tabernacle? No verse for this. You have to tell me on your own. I said it in the summary. Why do we light the lamp in the tabernacle?
Maybe presence of God.
Presence of God.
Holy,
Is
holy of holies.
Presence of God.
presence of God is the right answer. Not maybe, for sure. To symbolize the presence of God among His people. Amen. Thank you all so much. Tomorrow we will see about holy garments, the priestly garments. What does it signify? What does it represent? Why was it used? Even today, we Catholic priests, what color signifies what? Tomorrow we will see that. God bless. Take care. Good night. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks
Good night,
to
ma'am. Thank you.
ma'am and
Yeah,
Roshan.
thank you, ma'am.
Line got cut. Sorry, Roshan. Thank you, ma'am, for